All right, my friends, we are ready to start. Sorry for the delay. We are viewing Siman Shin Ches 318, learning about Bishul b'Shabbos. But first, let's talk about Hamavashal b'Shabbos b'Shoigig versus b'Mezid. What is the halacha?
They are not talking about Pesach, Pesach or Shabbos, just before Shabbos to put the Korban, put it in the inside.
Yes. Yes. B'nei Chabur is reason him. The people who are in charge are very careful.
So why it can be the same thing that if you're a group of people?
It's not any group. It's not any group. It's the B'nei Chabura. It's the people in charge of the Chabura, the Korban Pesach. They always choose for people who are very careful. It's not any Chabura. It's that Chabura. You know what I'm saying? The Chabura that they would make for that thing.
Each one like watching the other, not to do it.
I understand, but it's a special thing for that Chabur. Because B'nei Chabur is reason him. It says that expression. It's reason him.
So you can just put this to like occasion.
Okay, here we go. We finished Atmana and we are moving on to Bishul. You look a little bit sidelined, Yossi. There you are.
I can turn it on to auto-rotate.
1 second, I have my computer on mute. Yeah, sorry, what'd you say?
I just turned it on to auto-rotate.
There we are. Very good. Okay, so we are learning Siman Shin Ches, Hamavashal b'Shabbos b'Shoigig and b'Mezid Shalom. Anybody? What's the halacha? Shabbos b'Shoigig or b'Mezid? What to do? B'Shoigig or b'Mezid?
Certainly usher until after Shabbos.
Certainly us until after Shabbos, but what's the difference if it's Shoigig or Mezid? What is the practical difference?
Well, I think the difference is if it's b'shogeg, you have to wait until the amount of time it takes to cook, and then after Shabbos, and then if it's b'mezid, it's usher forever to the guy who cooked. But I think it's permittable to others.
Daniel says, I'll just put the volume up. Daniel says that if it's b'mezid, it's usher for the guy who did it forever, and if it's b'shogig, then it's usher for him and for others until after Shabbos b'chdei sheyaseh. For him, yeah. Plus the time. What's b'chdei sheyaseh?
As long as it would take to make it.
As long as it would take to make it. Okay, this is all the opinion of the Machaber, who is paskening like Rabbi Yehuda. There is an opinion of the Gemara, otherwise known as Rabbi Meir, that says differently. What does Rabbi Meir say? Yeah. The Mezid and B'Shogig, yeah.
After Shabbos?
The Mezid will be allowed after Shabbos for everybody, yeah. No. According to Rabbi Meir, the Mezid will be mutter after Shabbos for everybody. And B'Shogig? Give me, no? Yes, Yoram, I can barely hear you, but go ahead.
It should be b'shogeg mutar and b'mezid asur.
B'shogeg mutar, that's it, no problem.
No, I mean, for the one to cook, is the same. It's not the same halacha like we said before a second ago.
I'm asking about Rab Meir. Rab Meir is more lenient. No one? No guesses even?
The show game?
Yes.
The main seat after Shabbos, then the show game, he's going to be more lenient.
So give me, no. Let's hear it.
Okay, I'll give you my guess, which is I might remember. B'mezid, he's got to wait Kadesh Yaseh, and B'shogeg, he doesn't. Is that it?
No. Nope.
Rabbi, Umachmir. I have a question. Umachmir?
Rab Meir is Mekel.
Naked.
Rab Meir is Mekel.
Right, so the short is going to be
Exactly. It'll be mutter for others, even on Shabbos. Only also for him. Only also for him, not for others. On Shabbos.
Him meaning just the person that cooked.
Just the person that cooked.
His family.
I don't know. I'm not sure about that. According to Mezid, is also for him and others till after Shabbos. Yeah.
After Shabbat.
With Rab Meir. Yes, Yoram, but I must say I can barely hear you. But go ahead.
After Shabbat is forbidden for him, or only for it's okay for others?
After Shabbos, it's okay for him and for others if it's Mezid. If it's Shogig, it's mutter even on Shabbos for others and only also for him.
And after Shabbat?
After Shabbos, it's mutter for everybody under all circumstances.
Wow, it's a chidush.
That's Rab Meir's opinion. Now, I want to point out that I made a mistake just before. When I said that it's also b'chdei sheyaseh, there is no b'chdei sheyaseh by a mavashal b'Shabbos.
Don't know if you can hear us.
Sorry? Sorry?
You're cutting out for long periods of time. I don't know if it's just me or for everyone.
Yeah, same here.
That's
But
strange.
it's okay now, I think.
I don't know. There is a lot of noise in the background because there's a simcha next door, but other than that, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Everyone's using Wi-Fi.
I am using the Wi-Fi, yes.
Maybe
So
everybody else is as well.
That could be. That could be. So what was being said? Oh yeah, b'chdei sheyaseh only applies if a goy does work for a Jew on Shabbos, or if a Jew does a forbidden shehiyah v'hatmana, because those things a person might treat leniently, and therefore we have to punish him, make sure he gets no benefit at all. Whereas when I mean, there's an opinion that says not a problem. You could rely on it, but that's not about this. I'm talking about whenever we decide that it's a forbidden shehiyah in such a way that it's also b'diavad, depending on the situation. You understand? I'm not getting into that. But if it is a forbidden shehiyah that is going to be also b'diavad, it's also til b'chdei sheyaseh, because otherwise you might take it lightly. Okay. Now it's important to note that the Vilna Gaon passes like a mayor. And the Mishnah Berurah says you can rely on him b'shas hatzorech in the case of need. What is a case of need? So I saw in the Dirshu he says it's if you have nothing else to eat. It's not enough to say that it's the cholent. And what am I going to do without a cholent? Life is going to be terrible. No, you'll manage without a cholent. But if you have no other dish to eat, that's a shas hatzorech. So just good to know. Another thing that's good to know is that when it comes to an Issa D'Rabbanan, we go one step down, and we paskin like Rab Meir. That means even the Machaber, like Rabbi Yehuda and Alter Rebbe, and so on, agree that if it's a D'Rabbanan, we go down to Rab Meir's opinion. So therefore, this is halacha l'maisa. If it's an Issa D'Rabbanan, that a person did b'mezid, it's also only for him, not for others. Is that right? Am I saying it right? No, I said b'mezid is also for him and for others until after Shabbos. If it was b'shoigeg, it's also only for him, but mutter for others.
Question regarding the pot.
Yeah.
The pot says once he did something not allowing showers, frequent showers, forever he's not permitted to use that pot.
He cannot use the pot. Other people can, but he cannot unless he kashers it. He can kasher it.
Unless you can kasher.
Yeah.
How's it going to be only after you someone told you not allowed to do it?
That's for Mises Bezdin. Mazid, he knows himself if he's a Mazid.
And according to Rabbi Meir, he does have to kasher it after Shabbos, or he doesn't?
Part of the Meir, he doesn't, because it's not also forever. I'm sorry, one more time. What?
He just focused about the tafshil.
If he made a mistake, he made a mistake. But that's not a tinuk shenishba. Tinuk shenishba. If he made a mistake, he made a mistake. But if he didn't, he didn't. There's no tinuk shenishba for a minute. There's no such thing.
People just for that moment just forget.
So that's called a shoygin. It's called a shoygin.
Unless you hold it and you don't give it again.
I mean, you have a very nice perspective on Klal Yisrael. You cannot imagine that a Jew would be B'chal Shabbos amazed, Baruch Hashem. But if it ever would happen, then these are the halachas.
What's the problem? Where do we learn that if we did a forbidden dish on Shabbat, so he has, it's also for him to eat from that pot, but it's for everyone else. And I know it's probably not learned from something specific. I'm saying, what's the higayon? Why would, if it's also, why would it be also for everyone? That's it.
Well, it's only also for him. He sinned. He's going to benefit from his sin. Makes sense. Other people that didn't sin, so.
Something is forbidden to be done. I don't.
You're talking about which opinion are you talking about? Because according to Rabbi Yehuda, it is also till after Shabbos, no matter what.
In any case, we have to touch the pot.
One second. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's also till after Shabbos in all circumstances for him and others. There's no way out of it. So your question is not a question, right? Because after Shabbos, you're not benefiting anymore.
No, what do you mean? After Shabbos, you have to touch the pot.
So what's your question about that?
Why do you have to touch the pot? What's the...
Because the flavor is a forbidden flavor for you.
But, where do we learn that the even flavors from that? After 24 hours even?
Where do we learn? I don't remember having a source for it. As far as I know, it's pashat. It's pashat. If it's also, the flavor is also. The fact that it remains also after 24 hours is not unique to this situation. Any forbidden food that gets absorbed is also even after 24 hours. That's just what Chazal
Is there such a thing as treif water?
It's forbidden. I mean, we did have in this Siman the possibility of a plate and not being usher. We had that possibility of the absorption not being usher. We had the possibility. And that possibility where? Maybe there was such a shita. Could be there was such a shita. I don't remember.
Is there such a thing as treif water?
I'm sorry?
If, let's say, I boil a kettle on Shabbos b'mezid,
Chas v'shalom.
Does that kettle need to be kasher? Is there a concept of treif water?
For you, yes. There is a concept of treif water, yes.
Even though it has no flavor?
It's treif.
No, I get that. I've just never thought of treif actual water before.
Yeah, now you know. Sorry.
The pan has to be made of metal. It cannot be Teflon.
For it to be kosher?
Earthenware also.
Yeah. Whatever is good for kashering. Whatever is good for kashering. Who are the sources? Give me. Yeah. Oh, that the pan has to be kasher? Okay. I think there is an opinion that says you don't have to, but it's not l'maisa.
I have a question, Rabbi.
Ayom, I mamish cannot hear you. Mamash. I didn't bring my hearing aid today, so I'm in trouble. Loud, please.
Rabbi Meir, where he is getting the source about to have that benefit to eat it in Shabbat?
You sound like you're talking from a cloud. I heard Rabbi Meir, but I didn't hear more than that.
Where is taking the source to allow us to have the benefit to eat on Shabbat if somebody cooked that?
Rabbi Meir is the source.
Rabbi Meir is the source.
He is the source. He doesn't take it from another source.
The halacha is
Sorry?
Meir. The halacha.
Halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda, but the Mishnah Berurah says b'shat tzorech. You can rely on Rabbi Meir.
Okay.
Wait, b'shas tzorech with the deraisa or derabanan?
No, the Rabbanan is l'chatchila.
Okay.
By the Rabbanan, we pass like Rabbi Meir. By the Raisa, even by the Raisa, he says you can rely on him. Shas HaTzorech.
But the one who cooked b'mezid, he can never eat from it. Or by according to Rabbi Yehuda, he can't.
Yeah. He's not, a good point, actually. He's not naked by a mazid, even for the person himself. He's only naked by a shogeg.
Okay, so
Shas HaTzorech.
Is there a difference between shas? Go on.
No, I got confused. So the thing is, according to Rabbi Meir, well, according to everybody, if somebody did it by mazid, it's usher forever for the one who cooked it. But b'shogeg,
according to Rabbi Meir, it's only usher on Shabbos for the one who cooked it. But the Mishnah Berurah does not say you can be lenient b'shas HaTzorech in that case.
That's b'shogeg.
The shogeg, he says you can be lenient b'shas HaTzorech, yes.
Oh, even for the one who cooked it?
No, the one who cooked it is usher
on Shabbos.
Shogeg Shabbos anyway. It's for other people.
Okay.
What's the difference between shas tzorech and shas adchak?
I don't know exactly, to tell you the truth. Just for your information, I had a good word today somebody used, edification. Not sure what it means, but it's a good word. What does edification mean?
Personal edification.
Like making a monument.
Monument?
Edificate, like edifice? Like building something up?
No, edification sounded like betterment. Betterment or...
Raising the profile off, isn't it?
One's improvement.
One's improvement. Okay, so
intellectual improvement.
Intellectual improvement.
Small improvement.
So here you go. You asked about a kli cheres. The Dirshu says that the Prima Godim says that by a kli cheres you can be lenient after 24 hours. To say that it's okay even without kashering. Exactly. Because I don't have it in front of me, but I'm pretty sure there are Rishonim that don't hold that it goes to the that the plate is aser. So by kliferes, 24 hours, where there's no choice, you can't kasher it. So I guess he's samech on those rishonim. That's my guess.
Oh, right. There's a interesting.
Yeah.
Glass too?
The other also is that.
Rabbi, glass smell? Glass.
Yeah, shnia.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, Yoram. Yeah, what do you say?
They said about the cheres. The cheres the next day is okay. What about glass, like a glass plate?
For Ashkenazim that don't kasher glass, it would be the same.
The same.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about davar sheyesh lematirin. Do you remember that discussion?
Davar sheyesh lematirin. Bishul?
That means after another food. So this type of the food, in a way, it's definitely the type of the Hashem.
Correct.
But if that mixed during Shabbos,
Yep.
some are not really after Shabbos, so it's going to be considered the Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah.
And how many people have the Rosh Hashanah?
Yep.
This dish can be asked to the one that food forever.
Correct.
And to the other ones, probably until after Shabbos.
Correct. That's a psak of the Alter Rebbe. Mishnah Berurah says the exact same thing, except that he says that it's mutter for the person after Shabbos.
That means on Shabbos?
On Shabbos, it's only also till after Shabbos, which is when it's going to be mutter for everybody else. Once it's mutter for everybody else, he says it's not a davar sheyesh lematirin anymore because it's gone. There's no heter coming up. It's aser and mutter. There's nothing going to change. Because once it gets that title, put it out.
Is it the
Yes.
It's a cloud.
Afilu be'elef loy bottle. That's the cloud. There's no bittul of a davar sheyesh lematirin. Question is, what is a davar sheyesh lematirin? That's another question. But if it is a davar sheyesh lematirin, then it's not bottle even in 1,000. That's for sure. Alter Rebbe says once it gets that stamp of davar sheyesh lematirin, so it keeps it even after Shabbos, even though it's already mutter for others. But it got that stamp, so it keeps that stamp.
But the point is for after Shabbos, we the Rosh Hashanah.
For others, not for him.
So it's never for him.
For him, it's never mutter, according to the Alter Rebbe. But yeah, of course. No problem at all, according to the mayor. Okay, so.
What was the definition of a davar sheyesh lematirin again?
Good question.
Example.
What is the definition of a davar sheyesh lematirin? Something that will become mutter later, correct? An item that is now forbidden, but it will become allowed later, exactly. Like, for example, something that is mutter, that is asar on Shabbos, will become mutter after Shabbos. We say, why should we allow you to eat it now? And it mixed into other items. That's the key word I forgot to say. It mixed into other into other permissible items. So we say, instead of allowing you to say it's nullified in 60, as you would normally say, or other numbers, whatever the numbers are, here we don't say that. We say it's aser, and
it's like chametz.
Right, exactly. Just give me a moment, please.
There's no difference how it got there.
What do you mean?
So if you have something that was cooked, small, whatever, and you put it in there by mistake, but you put it in there, I could understand. What if it fell in there when it was pushed in there, whatever one the kid?
No, well, that's exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about it when it fell in by mistake. If you put in a forbidden item on purpose, it's not nullified even if it's not a double sheish l'matir.
Right.
I'm just saying it's. You cannot nullify something on purpose, and if you do, it doesn't work.
So if you put it in by mistake.
By mistake, then yes, then we have this discussion. So double sheish l'matir.
But how about if someone else put it in by mistake? Let's say, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Still
The principle is, why should we allow you to benefit in a way that nullifies the prohibition if we could just tell you to wait until it's not forbidden at all? After all, nullification is only a b'di'evet. It's not really the best. So if we have no choice, we'll let you use it. But if we have a choice, we'd rather not. That's a simple pshat.
So if there's some kind of a hefsek or something, or that's the only food available on Shabbos, there's... I remember.
I don't recall learning that a double sheish l'matir is up for negotiation. I don't recall that. I don't recall that. I mean, you're saying, well, double sheish l'matir, normally we say, well, we may as well make you wait. But here you're saying we can't make him wait because he needs it.
Right.
So
I'm just looking at it, like,
different.
for example, when we're looking at the bread situation.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Take what you need for the for
Three
the
meals.
students,
Three
for the
meals.
I'm just, there's no other option. So it's either wait or there's no Shabbos meal.
I don't know. I don't know, but there is a Siman Shulchan Aruch called Davar Sheyesh L'Matirin. It's in the graduate program of the Smicha program. It's in
Stay
Hilchos
tuned.
Taruvos,
Stay tuned for
Siman
the
Kuf Beis, and probably it's discussed there, but not
For
sure.
our purpose.
Our purpose, I'm not sure. Okay, talk to me about a shoichet l'choyle b'Shabbos. You allowed to enjoy it? How? Chai. Why? You can't add the shechita. It's one act.
If you enjoy from, let's say, you enjoy cooking, so you be cautious maybe it's going to be more cooking for the health.
Right. So you can't eat it if the goy cooked it, or if a Jew cooked it, for that matter. He's obviously a choyle sheyesh bo sakana. If you shecht it from a goy, can't shecht. Right, so it would have to be a choyle sheyesh bo sakana. So even if a Jew did it, you still have the problem of shemayar, but he may add. So you're saying just eat it raw. What about the fact that it's blood? You let us salt it on Shabbos? Let us salt meat on Shabbos? No. Why not? Exactly. So what's the deal? Doesn't need salt because you're eating it raw. That's exactly right. Exactly right. You don't need it. All right, sorry about that. Okay, sorry. My son is in Montreal camp. I mean, not on the way to camp. Just getting some updates. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Just need to just rinse it and no salt. Can be cooked.
Rinse it, no salting, and no cooking. No cooking. I mean, for the sick person, they could cook it, but if you want to eat it,
For the rest,
you would have to eat it raw. That's correct. So, but you have to rinse it. That's correct. And rinsing is not considered fixing because it's just rinsing. It's cleaning.
So this
it's like
was-
washing a dish.
So just to go through the whole thing, this was shkita that was done for a cola.
Yep.
For the cola, they can eat it. It can be cooked.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then there's leftover.
Leftover raw meat, correct.
But only because it was leftover from the colas. It's not like there was any. We're gonna chef, so we're.
Can't chef an extra animal.
That's what I'm saying. No. What I'm saying is from that initial shkita that was left over from the colas.
Correct. Now what? What about leftover food that was cooked? After Shabbos, you have to do it b'chtei sheyasa? Ooh, what about Bishul Goyim? Well, first of all, we're talking about Chodesh Shesh, could have been done by a Jew. But you're asking, what about Bishul Goyim? What about a Chodesh she'ein bo sakana, where a Jew is not allowed to cook, but a Goy is allowed to cook for the Chodesh she'ein bo sakana? So what about Bishul Goyim? מה אתה אומר?
שמא יעשה יותר אסור.
שמא יעשה יותר, okay. But what about Bishul Goyim? What about after Shabbos? You allowed to eat it after Shabbos?
מותר.
What about Bishul Akum?
Over here it's permitted.
Why would it be permitted?
Cook it for the cholera,
How would
Rabbi.
it be permitted?
Well, let's cook for you.
It's allowed to cook
For
for
the
the
chola.
choila. So once it's allowed, it's allowed?
Yep. Yes, because if consider the chole,
מה אתה אומר?
if you cook it for the chole, it's okay. So after Shabbat, it's for everybody.
After Shabbat, it's okay for everybody?
Yep.
In po mishum bishul akum?
And for
So what you're arguing about is a machlokas rishonim, my friends. And it goes back even to the Gemara. Because there's a machlokas in the Gemara.
After Shabbos, but let's say
It's a machlokas.
the Chole himself can still allow to eat it after Shabbos because it's not very.
No, part of the machlokas. That's part of the machlokas.
What if we took the Shabbos aspect out of it? If it's not Shabbos, if you have a goy that cooks for a chol,
No. Bishul akum.
it's still Bishul Akum.
The
Absolutely.
initial food?
The initial
Of
food.
course.
No, I'm talking. Okay,
It's not Shabbos.
that's what it.
So what? It's not Shabbos. Why can't the Jew do it?
The Jew can't do it.
Why can't he do it?
Rabbi, don't ask a question of a mice. The Jew can't do it.
Oh, you were making up a mice. You didn't tell me you're making up a mice. The Jew can't do it. Okay, it's still Bishul akum.
And you can't.
Let him eat it.
You let the chole eat it,
You let the choyle eat it, of
but
course.
then
In the hospital in which I worked, they used to leave a light on.
They usually have airplane food, which is just.
So I don't understand how Shabbos would make a difference in this case.
I'll tell you how Shabbos will make a difference in this case.
It's still Bishul Akum.
Larry knows. I'll tell you very simple. Exactly. Here's the thing. Chachamim permitted a choyle she'ein bo sakana to have all his needs done by a goy. Now, implicit in that is that they allowed a goy to cook for a choyle she'ein bo sakana on Shabbos. Now, we know that a person who is ein bo sakana is not allowed to eat forbidden food, even rabbinic level forbidden food. So what's the heter for him to have food made by a goy? The answer is the Chachamim temporarily suspended the halachas of Bishul Akum for the purpose of Shabbos when a Jew cannot cook for the choyle she'ein bo sakana. Again, during the week, because a Jew can cook, so the regular rules of choyle, of Bishul Akum do apply. Again, if he's dangerously ill, he can eat it anyway. But if he's not dangerously ill, here. If he's not dangerously ill, he just has a flu during the week. He's confined to bed. He's defined as a choyle she'ein bo sakana. But if a goy cooks for him, he can't eat it. It's an issa d'rabbanan because it's bishul akum. A sick person who is not dangerously ill cannot eat food that is forbidden d'rabbanan. No, I said no. Why? Listen, I said on Shabbos because there was no other way for him to eat hot food. The Chachamim temporarily suspended the rules of Bishul Akum, and they said, nah, it's not Bishul Akum.
But just for him, for
takes
Shmuel
care of him, he's a guy. The woman takes care of him.
Like a nursing home or something.
Girlfriend is sick and bad.
What do you mean? Let the Tzedakah committee get together and fix the situation. I mean, what if a regular person who's not sick, Nebuch, he's old and is nobody takes care of him. He has a guy who cooks for him. The poor guy. What are you going to do? I mean, you can make up all kinds of sob stories. I mean,
so the temporary suspension is what creates a potential heter.
So here's the thing. There is a discussion in the Gemara about the food, about the meat that was left over from before they crossed the Yarden River. We know that there's a machlokes. Shchita for chulin definitely only started after they got into Eretz Yisrael. There's a machlokes of Akiva and Bishmael about the midbar. One says that in the midbar they were not allowed any chulin meat at all. All meat had to be shechted as shlamim, which makes you feel so sad for those poor kohanim. The four of them, only three of them actually, none of them passed away. The three of them eating the chaz of a sheikh of millions of, how did they even do it? I don't know what they did. But anyway, that's a separate problem. Anyway, but Lamaisa, the other opinion says they could have chulin and they didn't have to shecht it. They could just shoot it in the head or otherwise kill it and eat it in the midbar. Now the question is, what about the meat
that was left
over when they crossed the Yarden?
Could they bring it over?
When they crossed the Yarden, did it stay mutter or not?
Yeah.
And some say, it stayed mutter. It's mutter. The Torah said it's mutter. Hashem said it's mutter. It's not going to become also just because you crossed.
At
that time, it's mutter. It's exactly. So that's what they want to say about this. That maybe since the Chachamim suspended Bishul Akum, maybe it's off. There's no Bishul Akum. Not for the Choyle, not for others. Now they have to wait till after Shabbos because otherwise Shema Yarbe. But after Shabbos it's mutter. That's the opinion of the Ra'ah, Reb Aaron Halevi. However, the Rashba disagrees. And he says that as soon as Shabbos is over, it becomes Bishul Akum, not just for everybody else, but even for the Choyle himself. It was a temporary suspension as long as it was necessary. After Shabbos not necessary, it's not mutter anymore.
Does that mean that pyramid, right?
One second, yes. I'm sorry, what?
Why is it allowed to do any issue by the God? Other food. There's endless sakana. So wait 3 hours. Unless there's sakana, okay, allowed. But why is it allowed in the beginning?
Because the Chachamim had Rachmanos. The Chachamim had Rachmanos. The Chachamim are from the Tzad of Chesed. Torah B'chsav is Gvura. That's why you don't learn it at night. Torah B'al Peh is Chesed. Chachamim have Chesed. The poor guy, listen, it's only Asim Rabbanan, right? The Chachamim have the power to take off etc. So they can. So they do.
I have a question on Shavuos.
Yeah. One second, Yossi was in the middle of last something. Yossi, go ahead.
Does that mean that if he holds that it's Asr after Shabbos that the Kalim become treif?
No.
With regular Bishul Akum, that's the case.
Yeah. Sorry, Rafal, yeah.
So, I'm saying that there's two whether the meat was allowed. No opinion says they're allowed to shecht chulin.
Correct. In the midbar, they could not shecht chulin. They could either have it as shlamim, one to one pink, or the other they could have it as nechira, basar nechira. They could shecht it, but there was no din of shchita per se. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't need to shecht.
They didn't need to shecht it, correct?
So why do we eat dairy on Shavuos? Is that one of the reasons? Or the main reasons was that?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
It's not Shabbos. The situation. It wasn't Shabbos.
It's a good question, but they still had to drain the blood, they had to salt it, they had to take out the chalev, and they had to... Are you saying they didn't have to kasher because Basar Nechira was mutter? It's a good question.
If it's a good question, I'm sure it's asked.
I mean, there's other reasons for milchik and shuas besides that reason. That's the famous reason. But there's other reasons, like 6, 7, a bunch of reasons. Okay, so we discussed shoichet l'choyle b'Shabbos. What about toilish l'choyle b'Shabbos? You went to the garden and you took out.
Ready to eat or not ready to eat?
Not ready to eat. You took a fruit that was not quite ripe from the tree. So you are right, except for one thing. You're saying if it was ripe, it's mutter for other people. Only if you have in mind. Only if you had in mind for other people. Only if you had in mind that you might take it. Otherwise, it's muktzah. Well, for the choyle, even though it's muktzah, it's mutter. But for the bari, if you didn't have in mind, it's muktzah.
But the one that was cooked.
Yeah. So what's the difference? Why by a... Did everybody understand that? I'm going to say it again. When it comes to something that was plucked from the tree, so the leftovers, there's no gzeir of shema yarba, because presumably he's not going to take another fruit tree. Whatever he took. So, in theory, you should be able to eat the leftovers. The problem is that there might be muktzah issues. What are the muktzah issues? First of all, if the tree continued it was growing, like it was ripening on Shabbos. So that additional ripening is muktzah, because it's noilad, it's like something new. And it's a double shesha matir, and even though it's a small amount, but it's all mixed into the whole fruit. So it's also finished, muktzah. What if it's already ripe before Shabbos? So here's the difference. If when Shabbos came in, you knew that you had a choyle in your house, and you thought to yourself, I know the doctor might say he mamish needs a fresh mango. If he says it, I'll go pick that mango from the back. So that's not muktzah anymore, because you had it in mind. But if you didn't have it in mind, it's muktzah. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think. If you thought before Shabbos that I might need this on Shabbos, so then it's not muktzah. Okay, so here comes the punchline. Why is it that when it comes to the fruit that you plucked from the tree, we have this whole thing, did you have in mind, didn't you have in mind? When it came to the animal, we said it's no problem, it's not muktzah, rinse it off. So we said a healthy person could eat raw meat. Just rinse off the blood and dig in. Why didn't we say it should depend? If you knew he was sick and you might shecht it, then it's not muktzah. But if you didn't know, it should be muktzah.
Rabbi.
The animal.
Rabbi.
It should be muktzah, yeah. No use for it on Shabbos. Yes, Yoram.
For chole, for Shabbat, who is the slaughter the animal for the chole? The goy or the...
What? Who's the what?
Who shochet? Mi shochet? Goy or Israel?
If he's a choyle sheyesh bo sakana, then a Jew.
Jew.
If he's not bo sakana, then nobody, because that goy can't shecht because it's going to be treif, and if it's treif, he can't eat it. If he was a choyle sheyesh bo sakana anyway.
If you milk it before you shecht it.
What?
If you milk it before you shecht it, is that okay?
Why should it be okay?
Well, the animal's not muktzah.
Whoa.
What was the question, Rabbi?
Well, first of all, the animal is actually not muktzah in this case, and as I'll explain in a minute. But if it were muktzah, the fact that you milked it wouldn't make it not muktzah. You understand? An animal that is muktzah from eating, right?
No, I'm saying that if the animal is not muktzah because you're going to shecht it, can you milk it? Is the milk any different to regular milk from that you have to spill and throw away?
Even if the animal is not muktzah, it still has the isser of mefarik. Muktzah is one, but the 39 malachas are another thing. Taking a solid out of a liquid is mefarik. I can help you with that.
You mean a liquid out of a cow?
Sorry, liquid out of a solid, yeah.
And what what about if you milk a cow for a sick person on Shabbos? That milk is okay for him. Can you have the leftovers? Because when you milk,
I don't think so. Because anything that you might add for the health,
you can't add. You milk a cow. You milk a cow. You don't milk extra. You milk.
Of course, you can milk extra. What does that mean? You could milk a certain amount. You could milk more.
I thought that when you milk a cow on Shabbos, it's because you're doing two things. Number one, you're alleviating the cow's pain. Normally, you'd have to spill it, but in this case, you're not. Rather than spilling it, you're giving it to a chayla. If you've got leftover, you would have had to have milked it. It's just that you would have spilt it.
If you would have spilt it, then you wouldn't have been doing a malacha. Now you did a malacha. So the fact that you could have done it by spilling it has nothing to do, because if you would have spilt it, you wouldn't have had it.
Yeah, but my point. Okay, I think I understand, but
the only way to have it is to not spill it. So the fact that you could have spilled it doesn't mean that it's a reason you should be allowed to have it. Sorry, question? Why is the animal not muktzah? If you didn't have a choila, or you didn't think you were going to shecht it for the choila, why is the animal not muktzah? It doesn't make a difference. Animals are forbidden to eat on Shabbos if they're not shechted before Shabbos. They're not edible. And you can't shecht on Shabbos. But you didn't expect it at a choila. How often do you have a choila that has to have fresh meat on Shabbos? It's 1 in a million.
Well, it's not muktzah because it was done beheter.
You do shecht every day, just not on Shabbos. I'm saying, so it should be muktzah.
But here it was done beheter.
What?
Here it was done beheter, so that's why it's not muktzah.
The fact that it was done by heter doesn't change the fact that it's muktzah. Muktzah means it's set aside.
But the meat is set aside after the goy slaughtered it. I thought the Jew could eat it. We say
doesn't slaughter, because goyim that slaughter make a treif animal.
Even for a
Jew slaughters. The question is, why is it not muktzah when Shabbos came in? It was muktzah, and he didn't expect the Jew to slaughter. That was the question. No, here's the answer, my friends. And now that we're coming up to Hilchos Muktzah, here's the answer. Still light as day in Montreal. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. At 9:15. I just got a picture from 9:15. Sorry. Excuse me.
I just want to get something straight here. So it's on Shabbos. The guy is mortally ill. So
Yeah.
if a Jew slaughters it, it's not muktzah. If a goy slaughters it, it is muktzah.
No, goyim do not slaughter. Goyim
No.
do not slaughter.
Oh, that never. Okay, even for somebody who's mortally ill.
There would be. Why would a goy slaughter? It's going to be treif. A Jew should slaughter.
Yeah.
If he's mortally ill, a Jew can do malacha for him. So a Jew should slaughter it. So
Okay.
it should be kosher. 28. Sorry?
But if there's such a great sakana, even a goy cannot slaughter, even if somebody will die. I thought.
Why not?
Well,
I'm sorry?
never mind. I think I figured it out. I was thinking, well, if the guy's mortally ill, The goy could slaughter it from him because the sick Jew needs to eat, but then it's usher for a healthy Jew. Unlike the case where a Jew slaughters it, then
we don't have the Jew slaughter it so that a healthy Jew could eat it.
Right. The Jew is slaughtering it for the mortally sick guy, but once he's slaughtered it, then it's not muksa because it was done beheter.
Exactly.
Got it.
Okay, so the answer is, my friends. The answer is, my friends, that an animal was made muktzah by Hashem. Hashem created it, and as such, it's muktzah because you can't shecht it. But you never actively made it muktzah. It's called loy dechoy biyadayim. You didn't reject it, and that is only muktzah as long as it's muktzah. If it's not muktzah, in other words, it can change in the middle of Shabbos. Muktzah that you didn't designate as muktzah, it's just designated by Hashem as muktzah, could change in the middle of Shabbos. So when Shabbos came in, you're right, it was muktzah because it had no use. It wasn't edible.
Oh, it's just like any other animal.
It's like any other animal, it's muktzah, but when it's shechted, now it changes. When it comes to something that you designate as muktzah, so then it cannot change on Shabbos. So if you take fruit, fresh fruit, and you put them up on the roof to dry, so it's something that you decided that it's muktzah. I'm putting it up there for it to, it's going to not be so good until it dries. I'm actively pushing it away. That I have the power to make it muktzah. So a tree that is ripe and you choose not to pick it, that's considered like the choy biyadayim, like you actively rejected it. And that's why it stays muktzah, unless you had a mind.
Rabbi.
Yeah. Yeah.
How he know what he's eating? He is sakana. He doesn't see what he's doing. So wherever you feed them, kosher, not kosher, why we need to shacht and bishul and Shabbat?
Lo nachon.
Why?
Lo nachon.
How he know what he's eating?
Lo nachon. Halacha says that if a person is sick on Shabbos, you specifically shechter him. You don't feed him not kosher. You specifically shechter him. We're afraid that he's going to be so disgusted by the fact that you're feeding him not kosher that he won't be able to eat it and he'll be in danger. That's the way the Shulchan Aruch looks at Jewish people. You tell them you're sick, it's dangerous. No, we're afraid he's going to be physically unable to eat it. We say shecht so that he'll be able to eat it. Interesting thing. Shomeh?
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
You mentioned this before. I'm just trying to remember. It's got nothing to do that the fruit, one speaking right, because the tree is attached to the ground and the animal is not.
That's what he said. No. That's what makes the fruit muktzah, but the animal is muktzah for its own reason. Each one is muktzah for its own reason. All right, my friends, with no further ado, we come to the concept of cooking on Shabbos, which they did in the Mishkan where? Exactly, with the various spices. And cooking is not only forbidden for food, but it's also forbidden for what else? Hard to soft, soft to hard. For example, exactly, cheres, make it harder. Wood, if you dry it, you have maybe wood that is moist. You dry it out in the oven. Exactly, not burning wood, drying it out. Also, that's making it hard. Sorry? Cotton? I don't know, you tell me. They used to dry it out in the oven. If it changes its consistency, then yeah. Yeah. So, I had something that I put into the notes here. So I'm make sure I don't forget. Okay.
I don't know, but after the Shkita to the Yemen, you're allowed to enjoy from the Lord also.
What? What? עוד פעם, לא הבנתי.
After the Shkita, you're allowed to prepare.
On Shabbos?
Yeah, after the Shkita.
Why?
To give them to the Chodesh also.
It's a bit of a bizarre situation, but if the choyle needs it, then why not? What's the difference? For a non-choyle, you can't do it. That's still going to be a fire.
So you can put the cow to finish the bus, I can have it nothing to do with the Shkita, basically.
With shkita, without shkita, it's no problem. But if it's for a person who's not a choyle, even though the cow is dead, it's still mafaric. Still taking a solid out of a liquid out of a solid. I think. I mean, I don't see any reason to differentiate. Okay. I saw an interesting thing in the Dirshu. What if you take margarine or butter out of the fridge to soften it? You put it on the counter to soften it. You're changing the consistency from hard to soft. Is that called Bishul? Why not?
Because it's changing just by the temperature.
Thank you very much. Bishul has to be associated with heat of Yatzalet. 1 second. If you change consistency, but you don't use heat of Yatzalet, it's not Bishul. I mean, maybe it's another malacha, depending, but it's not Bishul.
You're allowed to use it?
Why not?
Second, I don't know because when you spoke about ice cube.
I'm talking about from solid to liquid. I'm talking about margarine. It goes from being hard to being soft. Hard to soft. It's not a liquid. It doesn't become a liquid.
It's solid. It's one.
But it doesn't become a liquid. I'm not talking about putting it on the frying pan. You leave it on the counter, it becomes soft. That's not a liquid. It's okay. Okay. Talk to me about chama. Told us chama. Ur. Told us ur.
Actually, it's from the
What's chama? What's chama? What does chama mean? Cooking with the sun directly is mutter. Why?
Because it's not like cooking.
Exactly. It's not like cooking, correct.
But you're not allowed to use the sun to heat something up, for example, a pan or a cloth, and then use that heat stored in that, because that is like cooking.
Exactly. Is that Deraisa or Darabanan?
Durabanan.
Darabanan. What about Tulda Sa'ur? Deraisa or Darabanan? Oh, sorry. No. Tulda Sa'ur is Deraisa. If you heat up a frying pan, a fire, you take it off the fire, you put it on the counter, crack an egg in it, and it cooks it, that is an Isur D'Oraisa. For that matter, Kli Rishon. Putting something in a Kli Rishon in a way that cooks it is Isur D'Oraisa.
Only told the Rabbanat will be told the Chama.
Correct. The only Tolda, there's other Toldas of Bishul. I mean, if you do Bishul with, what did we say? Last week already we were learning it. If you do Bishul with, no? Shriya, when you do Shriya. No, Shriya, when you soak something. What is that called? Pickling.
Brining or pickling? What
is it called in Hebrew? No? Kvisha. if you do Kvisha, that's Bishul M'Darbanan. Melicha, also maybe we said is Bishul Darbanan. But it's Gulda.
No. But Isha is not told us of what?
Bishul.
No, I mean like source of heat.
Oh, in terms of heat source?
It's only for the Hammer, the Rabbanan. For the to that always from the Rabbanan. So this is what I meant.
Correct.
Only for the like the iron
Yeah.
from the heat, it's going to be only for the Hammer.
Correct. Correct. All right. What about cooking in Chamei Tveria? Allowed or not allowed?
Oh, that's you're not allowed to, but that's machlokes, isn't it?
It is a machlokes. What are the two opinions?
It's a good example of cooking. Put it into the water and then either water go to it.
Correct.
It's like the same as they do chamis, the same machlokes they do chamis because
That was a hatmona issue.
Right.
the chamis we said because the water go into the water. That's wrong. It's like water not like the Haman, except the Haman just warming up the pipe. But they don't warming up the water themselves. So the two chemists was machlokes because could be like Haman, so that's good to
Right. One second, please. Montreal's calling. Hello. You arrived okay? Excellent. You had supper?
What time is it?
Is the sun still shining in Montreal? Is the sun still shining there? No, you don't have mincha? Excellent. All right, very good. Thank you for calling. I'm in the middle of my share, but I wanted to take the call just to see that you were okay. All right, everything's okay? Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, bye. Sorry. Question? No. Chamei Tveria, I'm not talking about the Bishul Chamei Tveria. I'm talking about putting in the pipe from before Shabbos in a way that was called Hatmona B'Davar HaMoisif Hevel. Gemara says that if you put a pipe in to the Chamei Tveria in a way that the water goes into it from before Shabbos, that's called Hatmona B'Davar HaMoisif Hevel. I'm just saying that's what I was talking about. Right, to do it on Shabbos is the problem with Tolas Chama, but even if you do it from before Shabbos, if the pipe goes in and it's surrounded by the Chamei Tveria, it's a problem of Hatmana B'Davar Moisif Hevel.
Yeah, because it's just, I guess because of Hamosaf Hevel is the whole problem is because we were worried you would stir. So I guess because of that, even in this case, since there's no coals, I guess you'd still make it usser.
Right. Otherwise, even if there's no coals, but it could lead to doing it with coals.
This has a practical application with geothermal energy, doesn't it?
I'm not sure what geothermal energy is, but I'm interested to hear.
It's using the heat from the earth. Let's say you dig down a long way, and then it's very hot down there, and you have a pipe, and you have water that goes down and then comes back up. So it's being heated up by the earth.
Well, that's the same. That's the same thing as Chamei Tveria. I mean, that's why it heats the water.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's actually a real thing nowadays.
Right. They do it. They actually do it.
I think George W. Bush famously has an eco house that includes geothermal energy.
Nice.
Are you sure? Yeah, you would think Al Gore would do that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting. Good to know. All right. So All right. So we're learning. We're covering ground here. What about Bishul Achar Bishul? Talk to me about Bishul Achar Bishul.
Doesn't exist if it's dry, and it does exist if it's wet.
Exactly.
It does exist after baking.
Some hold what? Even Balach, that's correct. Who holds that? Who holds that?
Who was it? The opinion?
Yeah. Rambam, yeah. Correct. So what's Lamaisa?
Sephardim hold differently to Ashkenazim, right?
They do somewhat.
So the Sephardim don't have so much of a problem with Bishul Achar Bishul.
No, on the contrary. Sephardim are stricter. They say it has to be still Yadse Letters boy. If it goes under Yadse Letters boy, it's a problem of Bishul Achar Bishul. Ashkenazim say as long as it's a little bit warm, it's enough for it still to be considered cooked. But as we pointed out, the Yemenites pass like the Rambam, and they reheat liquids that are completely cooked before Shabbos.
But you can't do that with water, even if it's being boiled beforehand.
Not according to Ashkenazim or Sephardim, just Yemenites.
No, I said you may not do it with water.
Yemenites or everybody else?
I think everybody, isn't it? Don't we say with water?
Yemenites would do it. Cooked, it's cooked.
I'll ask my aunt.
Please. Okay, what about something that is dry?
Wait, I'm confused. This Bishul Achar Bishul again. If I have a piece of meat and if it's cold but it's already cooked, I can reheat it, can't I? As long as it's dry.
Yes.
So how's that different than what the Yemenites are holding?
Take your chicken soup out of the fridge.
Oh, in other words, the Yemenites can hold. You can heat cooked liquids up, if they're cold.
Now, of course, you can't heat it up in a place that you usually cook during the week, because that's mechzik and mavasha. But if you heat it up in a way on top of a pot, or some people hold it in a plata, whatever, different ways. But as long as you do it in a way that's not normal to cook, they will even heat up liquids.
Wow. Okay.
And it doesn't matter how hot it gets.
No.
So I could put it next to put it next to an oven or something like that. That's really hot, and then you can just let it boil away.
Rabbi. Rabbi.
Can I ask a guy?
No, we're saying you built, yeah.
Rabbi.
I mean, there is such a concept. That things that some people permit in the first place, you're allowed to ask a guy.
Rabbi.
1 second, please. 1 second, please, Yoram. I just don't know if it applies in this case. I don't know simply because this halacha, this opinion, is actually not brought explicitly in the Shulchan Aruch. I'm just saying, I don't know. Do you go for every opinion, or is it only the opinions that are? I don't know. I hear it, and I don't have a specific proof not to. I just wonder. I wonder if it maybe is only said about opinions that made it into the Shulchan Aruch. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe it's a cloud that applies to all opinions. I'm not sure. Yes. The truth is it did kind of make it into the Shulchan Aruch, but by the fact that the Ramah says you can reheat something that's still a little bit warm, some say it's based on the fact that the Rambam says that. So it's based on that. So it did make it in to the extent that he's even makel. So yeah, maybe. But yeah, for sure. Question? Ronnie? Question? No. Yoram, go ahead.
If you are a guest on Yemenite on Shabbat, you're allowed to have that soup.
That's a good question. If you're a guest in a Yemenite house, can you enjoy their chicken soup on Shabbos morning?
It's the same issue that you have with the whole different minhagim anyway.
I would say yes, because
It's
they
not
did
a
it.
malacha for them.
Yeah, they did it beheter.
And if you're wondering whether a goy can do it, of course a Yemenite can do it.
I'm not asking if the Yemenite can do it. The Yemenite can do it. He asked the Rambam. The Rambam said yes. Who are we to tell him not?
I guess we have who to rely on then.
If we can eat it, is the question.
Yeah, for sure. Even if an Ashkenazi put on the plata.
If else is b'diavad for sure.
Because we said in the case of b'diavad.
That's actually machlekes.
No,
The Mishnah Berurah says. No, the Mishnah Berurah says that. The Mishnah Berurah says that anything that some are matir, once it's done, b'diavad you can benefit, because the issur of benefiting is only the rabbanan. No. He's asking if you can. I do want to point out that the Alter Rebbe is not, according to the Alter Rebbe, it's not question. Only the Alter Rebbe.
So you cut out there.
The Alter Rebbe says. The Alter Rebbe says. One second. The Alter Rebbe says if it's something that is only an Issa D'Rabbanan, and some people allow it.
This is an Issa D'Oraisa according to most people.
According to those that forbid it, it's an Issa D'Oraisa. Yeah. So it's not partial from the Alter Rebbe, even b'diavad. What was your question? What was your question?
Be able to eat it.
No.
And the regular.
No. Although I did ask this shaila of Rav Vosner, what if you have another heter that the Alter Rebbe doesn't hold of either, but maybe you could be mitzaref the two of them? The question was, the Minchas Kohen says that you go by the majority in liquid and what's solid. So if you have, cholent that is majority solid, potatoes and meat and beans, and some liquid, right? So the Minchas Kohen says that's considered solid. Fish with rotev or whatever. Yeah, majority. But the Mishnah Berurah says no, it has to be all solid. It can be a small amount of liquid, like a tuffle amount. Alter Rebbe says mamash has to be solid. Touch it and you touch here, and it's liquid, no good. The kitzer, so I asked Rav Vosner, somebody asked me, because they get invited to places that heat up, like the Minchas Kohen, takes. Yeah, exactly. Let's say Yalkut Yosef Paskins. So can they eat? And if not, it's very uncomfortable. They're invited, they're not going to eat, or they're not going to accept an invitation. Also, not so comfortable. Anyway, Rav Vosner said it's okay. Because you have a double. Yeah, exactly. Because you have a double reason to be made. Besides the fact, as an aside point, I just want to point out the Alter Rebbe, when he says this about the difference in D'Oraisa and D'Rabbanan, he puts in parentheses. Like he's not sure that it's asik by D'Oraisa. Question. Minchas Kohen. I know his last name, if that helps you. Pimantel. Yes. He was one of the early Achronim. I would have to guess like 1600s. Okay. So, let me ask you something else. What about something that is dry, or and is half cooked? Do we say ein bishul acha bishul when something is half cooked?
No, because it improves it.
Because it improves it? What if it's fully cooked and it improves it? Mitztamik v'yafaloi.
What's the question? If he's allowed to cook something that's half cooked?
Yeah.
No.
Why not?
Because Bishul is until 100%.
That's correct. That is the psak of
Many Rishonim and Shulchan Aruch.
the Rambam and many Rishonim and the Shulchan Aruch. Correct. On the other hand, the Rashba and many other Rishonim say that Ein Bishul Acha Bishul. And once it's cooked to Machal Ben Bersoi, there is no Isser. The Rashba. And many other Rishonim. The Mishnah Berurah lists them. And the Mishnah Berurah goes so far as to even allow, this is a big chiddush, my friends, but it's something good to know about in case you're stuck out. The Mishnah Berurah allows to rely on those who shine in b'diavad. Even if a Jew did it. A Jew reheated, not just reheated, cooked something that was cooked Machal Ben Bersoi. It can happen, by mistake. You didn't realize the food wasn't fully cooked. You closed the oven, you turned, the top of the pot, you stirred it, whatever, all these things. Mishnah Berurah says you can rely b'diavad on the opinions that say Ein Bishul Acha Bishul once it's cooked Machal Ben Bersoi. No, not to do with the Chatchila, it's the Safek Derais. No, to eat it b'shas Chag? I don't think so. I think he says you can rely on it b'diavad. Near the b'diavad in lesser of tafshil the yishlis mechal apoiskum shesoim the kimmich and spash gemach and b'resoy shuv and b'zem shum bishul. Eat it not shas chak. This is b'diavad. Okay, just another point. Going back to Bishul Acha Bishul Balach. We pointed this out last time. Sorry.
I was reading from an email.
Yeah, I sent that an email before. David Leib is out of town, so yeah. So saw a bunch of koans, by the way, in the Oyel of Shabbos. Wherever I went, there was a koan, but I don't know who's who. So anyway.
Oh, where was that?
I was in the Oyel of Shabbos, yeah. Nice. Did I go into the Oyel on Shabbos? No, but I was in the area, yeah. So, sorry? Did anybody go in? Not thousands, but you're not supposed to, and there's also no Inyan because the Tzaddik's Neshama is not there, so what's the point? You know what I'm saying? But I did notice some people going in that direction. I'm not going to say they went in because I didn't watch and see if they went in. That's true. But
they didn't turn into a big measure. They were like other tzaddikim. They had a big thing and they made it to a big measure. But over there, it's just
no. By some tziyunim they have that. Here it's not. There's just a little room on the way in, if you saw, but not a big measure. So more like Sidurim and stuff. Okay. So just one point, I mentioned this last week, and that is when we say that it's not forbidden for an Ashkenazi to reheat something lach that's still hot. The Kiveger says it has to still be hot from when it was Yad Seledes boy. It can't be that you heat it in a permissible way, near a fireplace, and now it's already okay to heat no more. No, the whole point is it has to be left over from that, and it's still considered to be cooked. It's like a reshimu, like a leftover of the bishul allows it to be reheated.
So once it was already fully cooked. I mean, it was at one point it was yad saledispo. So even though it came down and it's just a bit warm, then you can still heat it up.
Exactly.
And who did you say that was?
Akiva Eger.
Rabbi Akiva Eger. Okay.
And by the way, whenever we say heat it up, we mean in a permissible way.
Of course.
Say if you don't have the conditions of chazara, then you can only put it back in a pot or opposite a fireplace or anything like that.
I'm sorry, you cut out. You're cutting out.
No, I was just saying that whenever we say that there's no problem of reheating, I'm talking about as far as the dinim of Bishul are concerned. As far as the dinim of Chazara and Mechsek and Muvashal, you can never put something on a place that is normally used for cooking unless the condition of Chazara. So that's just another thing to bear in mind.
Right, you need a blach there or something like that.
Blech, or even more than that, even a pot that you're doing on top of a pot. It would have to be something that renders that space a place not normal for cooking.
Oh, but this stuff you already did put down, and you
Exactly. Once you put it down, then you can't put it back in any place that's normal for cooking.
Oh, but you can put it back onto a place when they're on top of a pot like that, not on top of the blech, but on top of a pot on the blech, something like that.
Exactly.
Okay, got it.
So there are two things that I find very, very common. One is for people to put, let's say, schnitzels in a sauce onto an upturned pot on a blech on Shabbos, and the other is people putting challahs onto an upturned pot on a blech on Shabbos.
Challahs are totally dry, so that's not an issue as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, so even if they go crispy, that's not a problem where they weren't before. Okay.
I mean, there are some opinions that say that you can make toast on Shabbos because they say that that's like a makav patish, or maybe that's like what else do they say? I don't know why is it not a nafiyah chafiyah?
Well, it's not bishul without liquid, is it?
Makav patish. So machlekes, if we hold the makav patish ba'echlan.
It's also a fear.
It's not a nafiyah chafiyah. Why don't we say that? I don't know. I mean, there are achronim that forbid making toast, but anyway, heating up challah is not going to make toast. But what was the other question? Schnitzel with sauce for a regular Ashkenazi is not allowed.
No, they'll take no. It's got like either schnitzel or schnitzel with like ketchup on it, and they'll take it out of the fridge and put it onto a blech on Shabbos. Onto an upturned pot on the blech.
I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah,
for Sfardim or for people that follow the Minchas Kohen, maybe there are some Ashkenazim who follow him. I don't know, but the Mishnah Berurah does not. Alter does not. But that's a problem.
It's got to be pretty dry, and it's got to be and it can't come out of the fridge, can it?
Why not?
Oh, it can. It doesn't have to be a bit warm.
No, it doesn't have to be warm. If it's dry, it doesn't have to be warm.
Okay.
All right, my friends. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.